It's noon here in Ventnor, New Jersey, and this is news that you can use from CarEdge with your hosts, Ray and Zach. And I believe, since it's Friday, Miss Kimberly Kline, the F&I goddess herself, will be joining us momentarily.
Look at this, Dad. I'm going to do that.
What's that? Ah, perfect. Yes.
I think somebody's at the door.
Oh, perhaps we should let them in.
That was the weakest knock, Zach. You know, I would be more like,
to it. Come
it was
on.
so weak. I'd be like, let me in, you know. How are you guys today?
I'm doing well. I just added to my LinkedIn profile Foley sound artist. So for any of you out there that do Foley for a living, please, I'm starting a new YouTube channel, and I'll be giving Foley lessons. How about that?
I don't know what that is.
Neither do I.
You don't know what Foley is? It's all the sound effects that you hear in not in music, in TV and in video and things like that. It's called Foley. Like when you hear someone crunching a bag of chips or something like that.
Yeah.
That's Foley. Like the person that Nothing?
Okay. Sound guy.
I mean, ASMR.
Sound effects person. Let's go.
Yeah. Someone back me up in the chat pretty please. All right. We've had a hell of a week. We've had a hell of a week.
We really have.
Yeah.
Lots of data coming out, all sorts of interesting things. We are going to talk about skyrocketing car payments and the pending financial crisis. And I'll kick it off, Kimberly. You shared some information with me earlier in this week. We've got more and more folks that have over $1,000 a month car payments. Here's just one example of an article written about it from Road and Track. Car payments soaring past $1,000 for nearly 1 in 5 new car buyers. 17% of car buyers pay more than $1,000 a month. Is this what the economic apocalypse looks like? Kimberly, my dad and I talked about it during the week. Want to get your take on it. What are you seeing? What are you thinking when it's a $1,000 car payment?
Oh, good God. 1 in 5. Wow. I thought just like 2 or 3 weeks ago, it was 1 in 13. Now it's almost 1 in 5. That's insane, people. I hope you can live in the vehicle that you've chosen because get your best pillows and get comfy. That is crazy.
Sounds like a lot like a car B&B.
Oh,
a car B&B.
Yeah.
What it means financially, I mean, you can't help but to see repossessions, late payments, all the negatives. The mere fact that you're paying a huge amount in interest, of course, but so there's nothing good that comes out of that, Zach, is all I can say.
Can I show you one other thing before you go, Dad, just to help frame, I think, an interesting storyline part of today's conversation?
Mm-hmm.
So there was this tweet came from Car Dealership Guy, and he's quoting CDK Global, their data here. And let me zoom in for you. All right. This is what happens when you grow up with TikTok and Instagram. Gen Z is more likely to buy a luxury car than any other generation. 39% of Gen Zers want to buy a luxury car, 29% of millennials, 27% of Gen Xers, and 12% of boomers. Mm-hmm. So you start to look at this landscape, and you've got young people spending more money, because we've got other data that shows young people are falling behind on their car payments more than other generations. We have young people that are overextending themselves, putting more of their biweekly or monthly take home towards car payments. You have that data. And then we have headlines in Road and Track, nearly 1 in 5 consumers spending over $1,000 a month. I guess, Pops, just to get your take on it, what do you think when you put those two stories together?
Well, I'm not sure there's hope. For years when I was in the car business, and even recently, we've heard that the latest generation, it's they have been described as a generation that just thinks they're entitled to everything that's out there. That when they get a job, okay, their first job should be as a CEO because they don't want to have to work their way up, and they don't want to have to learn anything. Oh wait, that's you.
I'm gonna remove myself from the screen for a moment.
But a lot of these young people just think that they're entitled to have the better job, the better salary, the better car, and what that does is you combine that attitude with this attitude, well, I can afford the higher payment, and ultimately you end up in trouble. And so I just think, I'm not in certain aspects, I'm not as hopeful about what the younger generation will bring to the table, because they have grown up on TikTok and YouTube and computers and technology, and maybe not quite so much as the work ethic that people of my generation were kind of used to growing up.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I would like to say though that
Go for it, Kimberly.
we're generally speaking, and we're talking about the chart that you just showed us. All right,
Yep.
so we're not saying this is everybody. This is everybody in that generation. That's not what we're saying. That chart you showed us though lets us know a lot of information. But when a finance manager sees one of those numbers off that chart headed towards their office, Zach, you've got a money sign right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And it's those that finance managers will make the most money off of. And I hope that they get educated. I know that what we teach is not in schools. I know that, I get it. But I sure hope that they went to CarEdge.com first and went through deal school to learn how to do it the right way, so that they don't get taken advantage of. And that's beaming above their head, that big money sign, disappears.
Yeah, I hear you. Go for it, Pops.
Well, I'm just thinking of who's that singer, Post Malone. Perhaps he has a dollar sign tattooed on his forehead. I don't know, but that's the way that's the way these kids should walk. They should just have a dollar sign tattooed on their forehead, saying, hey, even if we don't have it, we think we have it, so we think we can pay it.
It's interesting to hear both of your takes, especially yours, Dad, on my generation and the generation that's a bit younger than me, and your perception that we don't work particularly hard. And I appreciate you, Kimberly, saying we shouldn't paint with too broad of a brush because everyone's different. I also think you're both looking at a generation that is heavily influenced by these marketing campaigns that work wonders. Like I have in my email inbox right now from BMW saying, "Hey, Zach, want to promote us on TikTok? We'll pay you $5,000.
Woo,
Like, no,
really?
I'm
Zach.
good. I'm good.
Oh, give it to
I'm
me.
good."
I'll do it. Oh, okay.
Like that's what they're doing. They're putting all their money into people that
Yeah.
have followings and saying, "All right, we'll give you a bunch of money. Go tell everyone why this is the next greatest thing." And then those young people end up finding ways to get approved from a bank on a 96-month term to go
Sure.
do it. So I think it's a little bit of like maybe you're onto something. Justice had a comment in the chat that he said every generation thinks the generation behind them is a little lazier than before. Who knows? But I also think you're just seeing really effective marketing at
And
play
technology.
and technology at play. Yeah, definitely.
Well, there you have it. So, are you telling me you don't want to be a paid influencer?
No, I've got another one from Car Gurus in my email inbox, and it's hilarious. And I just kept playing along with them because I'm like, you guys obviously don't watch what we do. Like, I would have no interest in this, but please tell me how much you're willing to pay for stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
It's terrible. They'll pay you per lead, and if someone buys a car, and it's just like, come on, guys,
Right.
and they want to use me. They want to use me on TikTok that has a following on TikTok to be that liaison to say this is the cool. Yeah.
They want you to be a paid influencer.
Sure.
Yeah. Ugh.
Wow.
Ugh.
Can I say something?
Go for it,
when you were younger, I had this dream that someday maybe my son will be a paid. No, I never thought of you as being a paid influencer.
No, man, no. It's a weird world. Let's go to the chat here for just a moment. We had a thoughtful contribution come in from Aaron. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
Just sold my 2021 Tacoma SR5 front-wheel drive with 27,000 miles to Echo Park for $35,000. Bought new for $36,500. These dealers are nuts. We did. I didn't have it queued for today's show, Kimberly and Pops, but we did have the latest Manheim data come out showing wholesale values obviously went up in March. We knew that. If you've got a car to sell, CarEdge.com/sell. Go see what Echo Park's willing to pay. It's pretty wild how inflated those prices are still right now.
It
yes,
is, indeed.
and as you know, I'm convinced still is going to go on for quite some time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Do you guys mind if I do a brief interlude to something that we just put back online yesterday, and I know, Kimberly, you're passionate about it, and Pops, I know you're passionate about it, but we can ask the community to help us out really quick, and then we'll come back to our regularly scheduled agenda of content.
Yeah, somebody's doing some drill.
All right, we got rid of him. All right, you can join us back when you get rid of the drilling, Pops. Kimberly, I am stoked. You know why?
Yes, I do know why.
We have relaunched. Just go to caredge.com/data. We have relaunched our deal data and dealer reviews. Kimberly, do you remember a year ago when we launched this?
I sure do. I
Yeah.
sure do. And I was just as excited about it back then as I am now.
Yeah, this is really, really awesome. So right now, we're 10 minutes into the show. There's 2,501 deals that have been submitted. You can actually view. So this is not going to pull in last year's data. We're just adding in the new data. So you can view all the new deal data and dealership reviews as well. Like, look at this. We're asking people how satisfied they were. And if they charged above or below MSRP and doc fees and things like that, who the salesperson was, who was good to work with or bad to work with. How about by the end of today's show, let's see this be a little bit above 2501. Please, 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 everyone contribute, because this is, I mean, yeah, when we did it last year, Kimberly, what was your favorite part about it? What was your favorite part about crowdsourcing this information?
Oh my gosh, the fact that it's real. Okay. And we're not paying you to do this, and we're not selling your information off after you do it. Okay. The fact that it is real data from real experiences at different dealerships, good ones, indifferent, and bad ones. I love reading that. I want to know what your experience was. Is this a good dealership? Should I go there? Should I even waste my time?
Yeah.
It's real stuff.
What do you think, Pops?
I concur 100%. This is not just some marketing crap. This is people sharing their experiences from their recent car purchases, good, bad, or indifferent, letting us know what type of deal they got, whether there were discounts, letting us know about the dealership with which they did business, so that as we compile all this information, when people are ready to go buy another car, they can start to search in their specific area for this specific type of a dealership and see which dealers got good reviews and which dealers got bad reviews. And then ultimately, as you gather this information, you'll be able to put together a list based on this of dealers that you might want to approach to see if they want to be CarEdge preferred dealerships.
Yeah,
and ascribe to our code of ethics when it comes to dealing with customers.
Right. Yeah. This is not Dealerator, where the dealership is monitoring your feedback. This is real, raw stuff.
Real raw stuff. That's what we stand for here.
Yes, that's our new slogan. CarEdge, real raw stuff.
Yes, thank you.
Anyways, go check it out, guys. Just wanted to do the quick promotion for that. Should be a really valuable resource for our community over the coming weeks and months. If you got a deal in the last year or so, go put it in there. But let's go back to the news, shall we? Kimberly, you shared an article that I found to be quite interesting. AAA came out with OPEC surprise leads to higher pump prices. So are we staring down the field and seeing in front of us higher car prices? Check. We're seeing higher repair prices. Check. And should we be anticipating higher gas prices in the not too distant future as well? What did you find here?
Well, I'll tell you what I have also locally too. And that's what put me down the rabbit hole of gas prices going up again. We went from $3.19 an overnight to $3.49. I would love to hear what everybody else is seeing out there too. $3.19 to $3.49. What happened? Well, a lot has happened. OPEC, as you can see, surprise leads to higher pump prices. Yeah. So now, listen. This is normal for this time of the year that gas prices are going to go up. But $3.19 to $3.49 overnight. There's more going on.
That kind of got your alarm bells going off a little bit?
Yes. Ding, 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 ding.
Justice is quite jealous. He wishes he could get $3.49.
I'm sure.
Texas, we've got $3.19. Josh was saying $3.75. Yeah, so, I mean,
wow.
You know what's also going through my head on this news? And yeah, here you go from Peter. It went from $349 to $369,
Yes.
fills up at $450. What's going through my mind, we had Tesla price cuts. I don't know if you guys saw that news. We saw Tesla price cuts. There was a headline in automotive news this morning, Toyota's CEO saying they're all in on EV, and you have gas prices are likely about to go back up here, and they always go up in the summer anyway.
Yes.
Interesting mix of events going on all at the same time that I think could push even more people to be looking at hybrids, definitely, but even more EVs. I think it's an interesting time for all these things to be happening at once.
Oh, for sure. And it's not as if the government's not trying to push people into EVs. And when I say the government, I'm talking about the federal government. And many state governments are joining in on that. So between gas prices, what the federal government mandates are going to be, what the government wants to do about the average gas mileage for cars. Yeah, the push is on for EVs. I've had this conversation with Justice on our Unplugged show.
Yep.
I believe that EVs, might end up being a fad. Everybody thinks it's the absolute future, and maybe it is. I mean, ICE vehicles were a fad for 120 or 130 years, so maybe EVs will be the next 100-year fad. But I honestly believe in my heart that electric vehicles, although it is or will probably be our near-term future, it probably is not the ultimate future.
I don't know if I necessarily want to have the full where do we go on EVs debate on this show. You use you have another platform for that conversation. I'm simply saying here, gas prices are going to go up. We're already seeing that. OPEC has made some decisions, plus summertime. So gas prices are going to go up. You have the largest EV automaker slashing prices yet again. We've got Farzad here in the chat. You should go check out his channel. Tesla Model Y long range with EV tax credit is now about $45,000 out the door after these most recent price decreases. You're going to have more people going there. And on the same day that all that happened, a headline on Automotive News is Toyota's new CEO, because they had a change in CEO, which is a change in thinking about EVs. It's just an interesting confluence of all those things happening at the same exact time.
And wasn't he predicting like 1.5 million EV sales annually by 2026? And I'm thinking, geez, they can't build enough cars right now. How the hell are they suddenly in the next 3 years going to be able to produce and sell 1.5 million EVs? I just think a lot of this is magical thinking for a lot of these companies.
What do you think, Kimberly?
I'm sick of it. All right. So there's two parts of me. There's a teeny tiny secret part back here that says, I really would love to try a gull-wing Tesla if I could. Yeah, I would. But you know what? You're forcing it on me. You're forcing it down my throat. The whole EV thing has me worn out and tired. And now, because that's all I read in the news, that's all you hear out of our government's mouth. First of all, I don't want to hear my government telling me what kind of car I'm going to be driving in X amount of years. And I just feel like it's being forced upon me, and therefore I'm getting angrier and angrier at EVs.
So Kimberly's going to be all in on hydrogen fuel cell, folks. So she is the new advocate for hydrogen. No, I totally get where both of you guys are coming from. I do think that some of these strategic decisions that are being made will influence more and more people in that direction. And it also could create an opportunity. I want to pull up this comment here from Florida Man, good old Florida Man in the chat with us today. Good luck selling those full-size trucks when gas goes up again. Both of you have sold vehicles or worked in the F&I office, been at dealerships when gas prices have spiked and people didn't want to be in their big trucks. Keep me honest here, gang. What are the vehicles that we see the most inventory of right now on dealership lots? F-150s, Silverados, Ram 1500s, GMC Sierras, full-size trucks.
Yes.
Is this not a little bit of a perfect storm for negotiability for those vehicles to just go through the roof?
Absolutely.
It's a juxtaposition, because as you guys were talking the other day about the prices of trucks coming down, the price of gas now is going up. So is that going to make the purchase of a truck a tad bit more attractive? Yeah, I know gas is up, but it's probably going to come down again. But so is the price of a truck. So what a juxtaposition is what I'm saying.
I have been through enough rises in gas prices to know that the people that drive the big ass trucks, the ATs, and big ass SUVs, and suddenly their monthly gas bill is $500 a month, and well, they weren't counting on that. I can't tell you how many times I've seen those people come into a dealership, be the proud possessors of negative equity to begin with, and because the market conditions are crashing for those type of vehicles, they are willing to accept an even larger loss, and they're willing to accept rolling even more negative equity into their next loan so that they can get into a car that's not a gas guzzler, because they think, well, I'm going to save, I don't know, $300 a month. My gas bill is going to go from $500 to $200, but meanwhile, you're financing an extra $20,000 on your loan because of all that negative equity you rolled into it.
And don't forget, they're mad at you, Ray, because you're not giving them enough.
Yeah, because nobody wants to buy your big ass truck.
It's worth more than this. I can't believe you're only giving me this for my truck. Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you getting rid of it? And the same reason you're getting rid of it is the same reason I've got to price it so cheap to make it seem affordable for the next person. So I've seen it. I've seen it before. And then as soon as gas prices go down again and stabilize again, people go, well, I want to get rid of that little car I got that gets great gas mileage and get right back into one of them big ass trucks.
We're hitting on what'll be a bit of a phenomenon. You're right, Kimberly. It's quite the juxtaposition. And honestly, it's a phenomenon in the sense of pricing. So we are seeing prices of BATs. Well, they're still quite high because MSRPs are high, but the negotiability is increased and you can get 10, 15, 20% off of some vehicles, maybe up to 20% on some Ram 1500. So you're going to continue to see the strengthening of that through the summer. And at the same time, on the EV plug-in hybrid, I'm thinking RAV4 Primes, Prius Primes about to come out. Those types, you're going to be paying MSRP or more. And then who knows, maybe the juxtaposition will flip by the end of the year. People will want all these BATs because the prices have come down so much. Maybe there'll be less demand for, although I think the demand for like the primes will continue to be quite high. But it is interesting. It's like there are two very different car markets right now. I did a TikTok on this recently, and it's just very clear. There's two entirely different markets going on.
And there will continue to be.
Yeah. Go for it, Kimberly.
No, I can't say it on YouTube.
Well, maybe you can, but it might demonetize the broadcast.
So we spent a couple minutes earlier talking about the CarEdge deal data and dealer reviews, crowdsourcing of that. I don't know if you guys saw this community post, but we're going to spend a couple minutes on it right now. It just came in an hour ago from Roger. All right, guys, this is why got to go to caredge.com/data and you need to contribute. You need to contribute your dealer review because of this. You guys ready?
Ready.
5-star review scam with a template you can use too. This is from Roger, one of our CarEdge Plus members. Buying a new vehicle in Southeast Florida has been a frustrating experience for me. Curious about other buyers' experiences. I checked out Google reviews for various dealerships in my area. To my surprise, many of them had overwhelming 5-star ratings.
Go figure.
However, what raised a red flag was that many of these reviews had the same type of photo, a customer posing with a new car and the salesperson standing right next to them. While it's common to take photos with new vehicles, having a high number of reviews with the same type of photos seems suspicious. Check out Yelp reviews for the same dealer with thousands of positive reviews, and you'll find just the opposite, all 1-star ratings. The dealerships are trying to manipulate the reviews, and I understand that an honest person who buys a car from one of these dealers wouldn't want to go back on their word. So if you agree to give a 5-star review, feel free to use my template below to express your true experience and provide a review they wanted. No one said it had to be a positive 5-star review. We're going to spend a minute after we talk through this, both of you sharing your insights from the dealership of the vendors, the software, the things that exist to help dealerships scrub bad reviews. But we're going to read this one first. This is the template. I loved it. 5 stars. If you're looking for a dealership lacking morals, honesty, and basic decency, look no further than this one. From being treated with disrespect to being lied to repeatedly, the experience was unforgettable. While I can't in good conscience recommend this dealership, I have to admit that their service was so terrible that it deserves 5 stars for each of the following. They truly deserve it. Dishonesty. If you're looking for a dealership that will lie to your face and take advantage of you, this is the place for you. You won't find a more dishonest dealership anywhere else. Talking down to customers. They got 5 stars for that. The salesperson at these dealerships are truly exceptional at treating you like crap. If being belittled is your thing, then this is the perfect place to go. Reprehensible business practices, again, 5 stars. The way this dealership conducts business is truly inspiring. From shady sales tactics to unethical behavior, they truly take the cake regarding reprehensible practices. Number 4, rude customer service, 5 stars again. If you enjoy being treated like garbage, look no further. The customer service at this dealership is top-notch when it comes to rudeness and unprofessionalism. And number 5, overpriced vehicles, another 5 stars. Who needs fair prices when you can pay an arm and a leg for a car? This dealership knows how to squeeze every last penny out of its customers. I got a chuckle out of this one when I saw it, Gang, and I wanted to put it on your radar. Buying a car in Florida sounds terrible. We know that, and this is some frustration pent up there.
Yeah.
But you guys, can you share a little bit, Kimberly? Like, I mean, dealership reviews. You mentioned Dealer Rater earlier, but like, it's kind of hard to trust them, isn't it?
It is. It is. And there's a psychological thing to it because listen, I review products. I'm the first to admit I'll jump on Amazon and review something first. But when it comes to reviewing vehicle service contracts and dealerships, it makes it very, very difficult because they can be scrubbed and manipulated. I worked at a dealership once for a very short period of time that did that with Dealer Rater, made sure that the bad ones were gone, the good ones were there. I don't know how they do it, Zach, because it's technology and I'm not sure how it works, but it happens. So the psychological part of it is you're looking at a dealership and it gives you the warm, fuzzy feeling of seeing those stars.
Yeah.
Seeing those stars goes right here, gives you a little bit of, I don't know, dopamine, and makes you feel good. Like, okay, I'm going to go there. And then you have the worst experience. They're not real.
Yeah, there are reputation defender type technologies out there to help scrub bad reviews from dealerships. I worked at dealerships. I mean, we would beg customers to give us good reviews. When it came to your CSI reports from the manufacturers, the salespeople would beg customers to give them a good review.
Yeah.
My theory was, and I used to say this to the staff all the time, if you provide your customer with good advice, good information, solid information, and you make it a pleasant experience, you won't even have to ask for a good review. They'll actually just want to give it to you because you exceeded the expectations that they had walking in, because most people are pretty sure they're going to have a miserable experience when they walk into a car dealership. And if the experience they have dealing with you is everything that's opposite of that, you're not going to have to ask them to give you a good. They're just going to give it to you organically.
Right.
So I would much rather see dealerships concentrate on training staff on how you should really just treat people nicely, as opposed to bribing staff to bribe their customers to say, give me a good review. Just treat the customers the way they should be treated, and they'll give you
the
a good
opposite
review.
Exactly the opposite of what they expect. Right whenever they walk in the door and they've got their walls up and they're ready for a fight, what if you treat them the opposite way?
I used to tell customers before we'd get started, I literally, this is what I used to say to them. Before we get started, I just want to go over 3 things with you real quickly. Okay. And here they are. 1, the price of the new car or the used car you're looking at here is always going to be more than what you want it to be. Just that's the way it's going to be. The amount that we're going to give you for your trade-in is always going to be less than you think it's worth. And 3, either you or somebody you know has been screwed by a car dealer. Now, other than that, I don't have much to overcome. So what do you say we get started? I mean, I understand the trepidation, and I used to explain to the customer, I understand why you're fearful and frightened of dealing here and dealing with us. And I'm going to do everything in my power to show you that it can be done in a manner that treats you with honesty and integrity and respects your time. And that's how I used to try to approach it. And I don't know, at one time,
yeah,
the Nissan dealership outside of Atlantic City that I managed, at that time, out of the top 200 largest Nissan dealers in the country, we ranked number 2 in customer satisfaction in the country. Why? Because we just treated people nice.
Exactly.
Hey, let's start something new. So when salespeople and sales managers are asking for CSI, which is the Customer Satisfaction Index surveys from the manufacturer, let's also start salespeople that watch this show, sales managers that watch this show, send them here. Send them to the website. If you were a great salesperson, you'll probably end up in a couple weeks being busier than you've ever been before if you've got your customers leaving reviews, putting your name here. This is actually probably a great way.
Yeah.
Because we're asking for salesperson name. What was the name of your salesperson? Brian. Did Brian do a good job? Let's see. Yeah, very satisfied. So
perfect.
I think there's an opportunity even here. Yeah.
I'm going to call. That's the guy I'm going to want to go to.
And now, that's the way it should be.
Unfortunately, CSI is tied to their paychecks too. And I don't know. That sucks.
And if you treat the customer nicely, you don't have to worry about it.
Right. But that's where you get the begging. That's where you get the begging. Please, I need you to, because they get paid for that.
Yes.
I don't know, guys. I think it's pretty simple. Just ask your customer what you can do today to earn their business. And I think you're just, you
use that line in my dealership and you're fired.
What if I use this line instead, Dad? We're just real people with real deals and real raw stuff.
Yes. Yeah, you use that line and you've got a job for life.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, I have another show to do in just a few minutes. So
I was about to say it is Friday. That means we've got CarEdge Electric. Go check it out. Thank you, Justice, for putting it right here. If you hate EVs and want to have a discussion, the great place to have it. Go type in CarEdge Electric in the YouTube search bar. Great discussion over there. Go for it, Kimberly. Sign us off.
Are we going to have a win? I wanted to have a win, and it involves Justice.
Let's hear the win.
Okay, quickly. The win is for CarEdge Driven for Women. I put the notice out there. Ladies, let us hear what you have to say about EVs so that Justice and Ray will have really a good perspective from women. And boy, did they come through. I love the ladies in Driven for Women. Thank you so much. Justice, you're going to have your EV stuff. Raw.
And if folks want to get on Driven for Women, Kimberly, they can reach out to you at Kimberly@joinyaa.com. We're switching over to the new emails soon enough. Or you can just post in the community forum and you'll get on there and help someone get into Driven for Women, correct?
You got it.
All right. Have a great weekend, Kimberly. Have a great weekend, Pops. We'll see you in about 15 minutes, 12 minutes now over on CarEdge.
They're drilling again.
See you, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Oh, my God.
Happy Friday.
See ya.